World tour resumes at Nanaimo, British Columbia, to turn eastward and homeward from Canada's Pacific coast. I'm speaking to you from Nanaimo Civic Arena, where, and I'm sure you can hear every single one of them, 4,500 children from all parts of northern Vancouver Island are waiting expectantly and anxiously, but not impatiently. They're having a wonderful time, and they know the best is yet to come. These children started coming into the arena about 3 hours ago. For the last hour or so, they've been rehearsing the songs they will sing for the princess. Everybody here is happy. What child isn't when he's on a holiday? They're all having a wonderful time. Some of these youngsters have come a long way this morning. From Campbell River, nearly 100 miles north of here. From Courtenay, Comox, and Cumberland. From Ladysmith to the south. And from a dozen other communities, large and small. The organization in bringing the children in here to the city of Nanaimo has been terrific. Up at Campbell River, the city fathers hired all the coaches of the Esquimalt to Nanaimo Railway to bring down their contingent of 600. The city of Courtenay chartered all the buses of the Vancouver Island stage lines. That left the twin cities of Alberni and Port Alberni without transportation. But they're well represented here, too. They've managed to get here in private cars and trucks. These children are cheering here like mad. Every once in a while, they all get up on their feet. They look toward the north entrance where the royal party will enter, and they stand up and wave their flags, and they cheer. And it's rather distracting because you can't tell when the royal party is going to enter. Their Royal Highnesses, Princess Elizabeth and the Duke of Edinburgh, should be here at the arena any moment now. If they're on schedule, they'll be on their way here from an official ceremony at Nanaimo City Hall, where elected civic and neighboring community dignitaries are being or have been presented, and where their Royal Highnesses signed the Distinguished Visitors Book. The royal party left Eagle Crest, where they've had a very brief and short holiday, at about 8:30 this morning. On the island this morning, it's a wonderful day, just like late spring, the sun bright and warm, a blue cloudless sky. And driving south down the island highway, they would see on their left to the east Lasqueti and Texada Islands, and across the blue waters of the Gulf of Georgia to the mainland, the snow-capped peaks of the Coast Range. They'll have passed through this part of the country's largest logging center, Northwest Bay, and seen the huge logging trucks, diesel-powered giants that will pull up to 70 tons of logs from forest to mill. And looking westward, they'll have seen the mountain trails those diesel trucks travel, crisscrossing and winding down the slopes. They crossed Englishman's River and seen lovely Nanoose Bay, a paradise for fishermen, as all these waters are. Salmon running up to 80 pounds, and plenty of them. Finally, through the tiny town of Parksville to Nanaimo. Nanaimo is a pretty little city. Because it lies directly across the Gulf of Georgia from Vancouver, closer by sea than any other island city, it's become the center of commerce for the northern part of Vancouver Island. Through Nanaimo flows all the timber, coal, and produce to the markets of the mainland. It's not like the ordinary small western city laid out in rectangular blocks. For here, the streets wind in and out without any apparent reason. The city was planned in London by Hudson's Bay Company engineers who may or may not have taken a London borough as their model. These streets, however, all seem to radiate out from the Bastion, the last remnant of the original Hudson's Bay Company post, and I'm told the only remaining bastion in Canada. Beneath the streets of the city, the earth is honeycombed with old mine shafts and workings. For coal has been mined here in Nanaimo for over 100 years, and many of the tunnels run far out under the harbor. The mines are nearly all worked out now, and Nanaimo is turning its attention more and more to lumber and timber. As I've said, it's a pretty little place, sitting on the edge of its island-dotted harbor, except for the low rolling mountains that lie behind it and to the east. It's rather reminiscent of the eastern lake country. There's a wonderful picture in this arena. Normally, it seats about 1,800 adults, but today, as I've told you, there are over 4,500 children here. The ice in the arena has been planked over, and children are massed down there. They're practically solid from one end of the rink to the other. And that rink is 180 feet long, and it's 80 feet wide. It seems that looking down on this scene, all you can see is children, waving flags, excited faces, and open mouths. Around the side of the rink, an open passageway has been left all the way around, so if there is time, perhaps the princess can move around and chat with some of them. I've just received the message that the royal couple have just left the City Hall, and they're on their way now to the Civic Arena. And as they come here, as they approach, the children are getting more expectant, more excited all the time. It's a rather colorful scene here. These children are not only solid on the rink, on the ice surface itself, but they're banked up on three sides. Every child here has a Union Jack. The photographers' flash bulbs are going. There are Mounties stationed at all the entrances, making a very colorful and picturesque figures. The royal couple, when they come here, will enter the arena through the north entrance. That's to my left. From the north entrance to the center of the rink, a red carpet has been laid, which then runs to the east end of the arena where the dais has been erected. The whole thing is covered with red carpet. There are very comfortable chairs there. The children surround the carpet on all sides, so they'll have a wonderful view of the royal couple when they arrive. Incidentally, after their Royal Highnesses leave this civic arena, and the children have had their long-awaited chance to say goodbye to them, they're going to make a short drive through the city to Nanaimo's transportation center, where they'll embark aboard HMCS Crusader for a high-speed trip across the Gulf of Georgia to Vancouver. A CBC observer is at the jetty, and later we'll transfer you there for the embarkation. This royal visit to Nanaimo is almost wholly for the children. There was a minimum of ceremony at the City Hall. There'll be practically none here. It's rather nice that on the first stop, on the homeward trip, the Princess and the Duke are seeing children first. I know they'll enjoy it, and undoubtedly the children love it. It's rather an auspicious beginning. The Princess has said that she's wanted to see Canada's children. Well, today she's going to see those of northern Vancouver Island. They're all here, every one of them. There go the children to their feet again. They look toward the door. The photographers are lined up there. I don't think the royal party is anywhere near the arena yet, but everybody is prepared. Another message. The royal party is arriving now, and all these children are up on their feet. They're just waiting for them to come through that north entrance. Some of the children at the back are standing on the tops of their seats. They're right on the backs in very precarious positions. Some of the little fellows are dashing down the steps. They've seen them outside. They're coming in now to get a look at them coming in this arena. Everybody looking toward that door. Everybody up on their feet, up on their chairs. And here they come, and listen to those children cheer. Every flag waving. No sign of them yet. They haven't come through that entrance, but the children know they're right there. This is going to be a real Western welcome from the children of Nanaimo. The first figures of the party have just come through that entrance. Two RCMP Mounties. They walk toward the dais. And here comes the princess, escorted by the mayor, His Worship, the mayor of Nanaimo, Mr. Westwood. She's dressed in horizon blue, looks very comfortable. The Duke is accompanied by Mrs. Westwood. He's dressed in a very dark suit, rather severe, but looks very comfortable too. And the official party is nearly up to the dais. Listen to these children. Both Princess Elizabeth and the Duke look relaxed and rested after their holiday. The princess waves to the children. And how they respond. There's the Duke waving now. They stand there and the children just wave their flags and scream. Children singing God Save the King. And now Mayor Westwood steps forward to make his address of welcome. He pauses and turns toward the royal couple. Now turns
Your
toward
Royal
the
Highnesses,
microphone.
I have here a speech of welcome, all couched in the proper language, but with your Royal Highness's permission, I'm not going to read it. I would rather tell you about the boys and girls that are assembled here today. Some of them have come from over 100 miles. And it was necessary for some of them to get up at 5 o'clock this morning in order to be here to welcome your Royal Highnesses to our city. For weeks now, the boys and girls have been cutting pictures from magazines and newspapers and pasting them in scrapbooks. And they have been saving their nickels and their pennies and their dimes in order to buy a present, not for your Royal Highnesses, but for your Royal Highness's children. Bonnie Prince Charles and wee Princess Anne. I think the ovation that you have received expresses more than I can say in words the love and the high regard that the people of our city and of Vancouver Island have for the royal family. We wish that you would convey back to His Majesty the King our deep concern over his recent illness and wish him, on our behalf, a very, very speedy recovery. And now, Your Highnesses, I would like to mention that for over 100 years, the citizens of Nanaimo have celebrated the 24th of May, the birthday of Your Highness's great-great-grandmother, Queen Victoria. And each year, a girl is elected from the schools to be the May Queen. And this year, little Penny Peterson was chosen as our May Queen. And I'm going to ask Penny to come forward and present the gift from the children of Nanaimo to the children of your Royal Highnesses with all their love. Penny. Would you come forward, please?
Now little Penny Peterson steps forward, moves up the red carpet, ascends the dais. The mayor hands her the red box which contains the 2 silver mugs which are being presented to Her Highness. She steps toward Princess Elizabeth. The Duke is looking at these mugs very interestedly, and they are beautiful mugs, both silver. On one side they have the coat of arms of the city of Nanaimo. Penny steps back and curtsies and descends the dais. Princess Elizabeth is looking at these silver mugs now. As I was saying, they have the coat of arms of the city of Nanaimo on one side, a replica in gold of the bastion, the old fort of Nanaimo, on the other.
And now, boys and girls, I'm sure the Royal Highnesses are very anxious to hear you sing.
The children rise to their feet. They're accompanied by an organ here. Both the princess and the Duke are sitting on the dais. They're very relaxed. Children really sang those well, and so they should. They've practiced them for weeks. Now the royal party is preparing to leave the dais. Princess Elizabeth is descending the steps, walking down that red carpet. and I knew this was going to happen. Princess Elizabeth is not going to leave the arena until she sees more of these children. And instead of leaving the building, walking on that red carpet, she is walking down to see these children, to talk to them. And they're all clustering in front of her. They're so eager to see her that they've blocked her passage, and she can't go any further. And they lead her around by another route, and these children are just following her over these floors. Waving their flags, she waves to them. The Duke following close behind. She waves her hand again. And they're thrilled to pieces. These children love this. They're all standing on their seats now. Every last one of them. The Duke turns and waves. The Princess is just approaching the north entrance through which the royal party came. And it will be only a moment before they leave here. They've stopped at that north entrance. The Princess says a few words to Mayor Westwood and the Duke. And the Duke turns and gives a final wave as they go through the door. As they go through the door, the children burst out into "So long, it's been good to know you." Princess Elizabeth and the Duke of Edinburgh have left the building now. And if the good wishes of these island youngsters mean anything, the royal couple will have a wonderful trip home. These children have had the most exciting time of their short lives. You can almost feel their emotion. It's indescribable. Each and every one of them is almost delirious with excitement and joy. The children have been the first concern here in Nanaimo. Everything has been done to see that they will see their future queen, the princess they've heard so much about, read so much about. Some of them, of course, will, as the mayor said, have to drive 100 miles or more to get home tonight. But none of them minds a bit. They're well looked after. There's a teacher with each 20 of them, and they'll have something to eat and drink before they start the homeward trip. They're moving toward the exits now. The big show is over. Very orderly, no pushing or shoving. Everybody very, very excited, but everybody waiting his turn. From this civic arena, the royal party will drive slowly through the winding streets to the jetty. Almost all the way, they'll overlook Nanaimo's beautiful harbor. At the north end of Front Street, Little Georgia Park with its huge totem pole and Squamish Indian canoes. They'll pass Nanaimo's War Memorial, where stands have been set up for the city's senior citizens. They're being looked after nearly as well as these children. Winding past the War Memorial, the motorcade will re-enter Nanaimo's main business section, then turn toward the harbor and the jetty where Crusader lies waiting. A CBC observer is at the dockside to tell you of the embarkation, so we transfer you now to him.
Well, from my position here on the roof of the CPR dock, I'm able to overlook nearly all of the downtown section of this busy, bustling little city of Nanaimo that rests on a gradual slope that leads down to the waterfront. I think things will be considerably quieter down here than they were up at the arena, because we have not a big crowd here. A few hours ago, we didn't think we were going to have many people here. But those people who were lining the main street up in the city, many of them have stayed there because they will be able to see the royal procession twice, once on its way to the arena and once on its way back. And I just received the signal that they have passed the War Memorial now and are on their way down here to the CPR dock. Yes, things are considerably quieter here. The crowds are lining the street down which the royal procession will enter into the CPR dock. I don't suppose there are more than 300 or 400 people lining this street. They're behind Royal Canadian Navy personnel who are keeping them back. You know, the citizens of Nanaimo are justly proud of this new $3 million steamship and bus terminal that gives them another reason to use their city slogan, the hub city of Vancouver Island, or some of them call it the focal point of Vancouver Island. And believe me, they never miss a chance to work it into a conversation. I think they must all be in the Chamber of Commerce. Although Victoria, at the southern tip of Vancouver Island, is British Columbia's capital city, Nanaimoites waste no time in letting visitors know that this is the fourth largest city in BC. It's on the west coast of Vancouver Island, about 70 miles from the southern tip, and about 35 miles across the Gulf of Georgia from Vancouver. The harbor itself is a well-protected little landlocked cove that's enclosed by several of the well-known and picturesque Gulf Islands of the Pacific coast, which brings to mind the fact that there's a perpetual reminder of the royal family out there in the Gulf. During the royal tour of Their Majesties the King and Queen in 1939, the Queen was presented with one of these islands as a gift. Now, as I face east from here, that is towards the Gulf, in a northeasterly direction, and just about half a mile away, is one of Nanaimo's favorite summer spots and picnic grounds, Newcastle Island. It's a spot that's also popular with day trippers from the mainland. And every Saturday and Sunday during the summer, the steamers that come in here are packed with mainlanders with their picnic baskets. Now, moving a little further to the right is another of the islands that protect the harbor, and appropriately enough, it's called Protection Island. And a small lighthouse marks foul water for the mariner and the tip of the island with the rather ominous-sounding name of Gallows Point. It was here in pioneering days that justice in its sternest form was meted out. Then there's a third island as we circle the outer reaches of the harbor. That's Gabriola, one of the larger of the Gulf Island group.